Come here. Are you about to quit your job? Are you? Well, listen, before you burn the house down, we need to talk about the 4 questions you need to answer before you quit your job. I'm Dr. Kiki Ramsey, your favorite positive psychologist and career coach. And let me just say to you, I have been exactly where you are. Man, I was ready to pack up my bags and go immediately. However, I actually did. Now to think about it, I did, but I did take a little step back and I asked myself some questions. However, they might have not been the 4 that I'm about to give you, but it did give me pause and I still did it anyway. But at the end of the day, I don't want you to make the same mistake that I made. I was sitting in my job and I was playing this little game, a little game that you probably are playing right now. It's called To Quit or Not to Quit. Child, listen, I understand. And for me at the time, it wasn't because I hated my job. I actually loved the people I work with. I loved the work I was ultimately doing, but I had outgrown the space. I was a social worker and I had outgrown the space. I had outgrown just wanting to do that type of work every day because number one, it was very difficult and very hard to do. And I need something else. And I played the game and I ultimately quit the job. And I'm going to be completely honest, I struggled because I feel at the time I was running from something and not necessarily to something that was going to sustain me financially. We go real talk over here. Real talk. I knew what I wanted to do, which for me, it was start a business in the speaking world, but that wasn't able to sustain me. So ultimately, long story short, child, girlfriend, I had to go back to work, all the things. There's no shame in your game. But I'm doing this video because if I can help you, then you might not go through the same thing I went through. So with that being said, let's dive into these 4 questions that I know you need to ask yourself before you quit your job. So the first question is, why does quitting feel so urgent right now? Why in this very moment? Because here's the thing about quitting in this moment for you, potentially, right? Urgency is usually emotional. Baby, it's not strategic. You done got mad. You are fed up. And I understand how I feel to be fed up. I done been that a couple of times in my career. But when you say to yourself, I'm going to quit my job, normally that's an emotional response that you are having and not necessarily a strategic response that you're having. So the question I want to ask you is, did something happen, right? Did you have a bad meeting? Did you get into an argument? Was there some kind of conflict that happened? Because if it did, I'd understand. Did you miss a promotion that you were promised? Did you get some kind of feedback or criticism from somebody who may or may not know what they're talking about? All these things can be true, right? All these things can be true, but all these things can be true and they can cause this emotional response in us. And when we get these emotions, the best thing for us to do is to take a step back. Right? So are you reacting in the moment? That's the question that I need you to take a step back and ask yourself. Or are you responding to a pattern that you always have, right? You got it. There's a lot of self-introspection that needs to happen in these 4 questions that I'm asking you. The truth is, big decisions made during emotional times often lead to regret. Listen, when I quit my job, and I quit to start a speaking career, which to me in itself is difficult. That's a whole nother video. But I was like, what a client is it? It was like crickets. What a client is it? Right? And I quit based off emotions. And then I have a real way to provide for myself. So that was quite difficult. So the thing is, I want you to pause, and that doesn't mean that you're stuck. You just need to pause. It means that you're wise, right? And I'm not saying that you won't ultimately quit, because some jobs need to be quit. I'm all for it if you go through these questions and you answer affirmatively that it's time for you to go. I'm all for it, because I am the career happiness queen, honey. I think everybody should be in a place in their careers where they are happy. So if you answer affirmatively to these questions, then great. You're good to go. You're good to go. So ask yourself, would you feel strongly about quitting if this was a calm Saturday morning? You woke up, baby, you done got your coffee, you chilling. Would you feel as strongly about quitting on Saturday as you do in this moment? Because we all need to learn how to regulate our emotions. We are very emotional beings. And I think the one thing that I learned throughout all of this is the ability to regulate my emotions, put me in control. When your emotions are all out of control, all out of whack, you are out of control. And you don't need to be making nobody's decisions when you are not emotionally regulated. Move on to the next. What do you think quitting is going to fix? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Be honest here, right? It's not a laughing matter, but I just remember when I quit my job, I was out the door, baby. And it was difficult. So be honest with yourself. What do you think is going to fix? What problem are you expecting that quitting is going to solve? Are you assuming that a new job equals happiness? Because I'm just about to tell you, you probably already know what I'm about to say. The grass ain't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. Because here's the thing. Sometimes when we change our environments without changing our own patterns, things stay the same. If you struggle with boundaries right now, you're going to struggle with them over there too. If you are overworking right now, chances are you're going to overwork yourself to death when you get to the new job. Because the thing is, changing jobs doesn't automatically change who you are. You take you with you. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I'm just preaching. I know I'm talking to you. You take you with you. And the thing that I had to learn when I quit my job is that I took me with me. Now, I've always been a great worker, very ambitious and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I took all of the bad things about me, sometimes staying up late, not getting up early enough, all those things. I took that with me to the next venture, and it lived to hunt me another day, right? So a new job doesn't automatically fix self-worth. Let me talk to you for a minute. It don't automatically fix how you ultimately feel. If you're a people pleaser, baby, you're going to be a people pleaser all day up and down over there. If you are a perfectionist, you are going to be a perfectionist over there as well. You take you with you. The issue is it a job issue? Is it a skill issue? Is it a boundary issue? Is it an identity issue? These are the things that I'm asking you, because I need you to figure out what you think quitting your job is going to fix. Because what we have to do is ultimately fix that. And then chances are, I don't know, maybe some things on the job might change, maybe not. But we need to answer these questions for ourselves. Number 3, are you tired or are you misaligned? Y'all know I talk about this often, right? Because burnout and misalignment and outgrowing your job is 2 different things, but they feel similar. They feel similar in our bodies, right? They feel like they are the same thing, but they are not the same thing. Because burnout, being tired, baby, you just need some rest. You just need to take a good old vacation. I just got back from an amazing Disney cruise with my family and my kids. And baby, when I say amazing, that thing was amazing. So if you ever want to go on a Disney cruise, don't hesitate. Go ahead and do that thing, because it was phenomenal. And I just needed some time off, because this job, what I do, I absolutely love and adore. I love this, but it can get tiresome. I'm not even saying I'm burnt out, but I do be exhausted sometimes. And so we really did need a break so I could just sit on the beach, sipping on a drink, watching my kids play in the water. It was heavenly. That's what I needed, right? I was tired. I was exhausted. But when you're misaligned, you need new direction. Something else is going on, right? Because you come back to work and you still are tired and you still don't want to be there. You still dread coming back to work. If 2 weeks off would fix everything that you had, it's just exhaustion, baby. You just burn out. If you can go on that 2-week vacation, then you're just exhausted. But if a vacation doesn't change the dread that you have in your heart when you wake up on Monday to go back to work, it's something deeper, right? You're drained because of potentially your workload, or because it doesn't connect with your values anymore, or because guess what? You have outgrown the job. What are the chances that you changed? Because guess what? We change. You are not the same person you were a year, 2, 3, 5, dang sure not 10 years ago. You're not that same person anymore. Neither am I. And so I had changed when I went to school to become a social worker. And like I said, I'm not saying anything bad about the social work profession. Them my peoples, honey. Them is my peoples. Shout out to all the social workers, right? But when I went to school, I was in a different place in my journey of wanting to help. And then as time went on, I ultimately got burnt out and misaligned because I was like, I cannot do this every day. This thing hard. It's hard. And I was dreading work every single day. Who wants to do that? Nobody. Not you. Right? And so I believe that you should always be walking in your purpose. And when I talk about purpose is ultimately how you help somebody and how you help make this world a better place. The things that you can do to help this world, make this world a better place. And that's your purpose. And that can come in all different forms, shapes, and fashions, right? Your vehicle to do that can be completely different. That's another video. I'm going to drop one on purpose because I know that a lot of y'all been asking me about purpose. And so I'm going to drop a video about my thoughts on purpose and how you actually discover that. And then number four, what are you actually running toward? Because listen, when we want to quit our job like that, you need to be running towards something. Because if you're not running towards it, you're just running from, and then running from something will have you stranded on the street without a drop of gas and nowhere to get it from. I know. I was sitting there, y'all, thinking about where are my clients at? For real though, where the clients at? It was rough. It was very rough. And so I think that when you quit something, when you're leaving something, you need to ask yourself, what am I building? What am I going towards? What's your vision? Right? Or is it just frustration? Do you have a vision that you can see for yourself for the future? Or are you just freaking frustrated in the moment? You need to know that about yourself because nobody else ain't gonna know that for you. Are you moving towards your purpose? Right? Are you just running away from pain? Sometimes I get it. Sometimes we just be like, I'm tired. I don't care. But I'm telling you, you want to care. You want to care. Is this a strategic pivot for you? Because it can be. Right? It can be. Or are you just trying to escape all the emotions of what's happening in the company? Right? What does your next chapter look like? What does it actually look like? If you don't know that, and I'm not saying you have to have every last step and piece together, but you do need to have a vision of what your next chapter looks like before you actually quit. And if you quit tomorrow, what's your plan for income, for growth, for fulfillment? I talk to a lot of people who want to become entrepreneurs. Shout out to y'all. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 plus years and it's not easy, but it's also rewarding. And I wouldn't have it any other way. But I do think that people have this rose-colored glass vision of what entrepreneurship really is. And so I always ask, what's your income? Do you have a year worth of savings? Or do you have somebody else who in your household who works a job so that they can support you while you go out and find the next career or either build a business? And a lot of times people who coaches out there and people who advocate for you to quit your job and become an entrepreneur ain't telling you that you need these things. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You need that. You need a year worth of savings, or you need some boo in the background, some husband, some something who's going to support you while you follow the next path. And I had that, and I'm fortunate. We still struggle. Listen, baby, we still struggle. But I still had that person. I had my husband, and I was fortunate enough to have him, but everybody don't got that. So my thought to you is, don't burn down the bridge before you build the next one, honey. We can't burn down no bridges before you know what you're doing next. So here's my final thoughts. You have the 4 questions. Ask yourself that. Really dig deep. Get your journal. Y'all know I'm big on that. Write out these questions and really begin to journal this. Join the 5 a.m. club, because that's a beautiful time to answer all these questions for yourself. So my final thoughts is, don't quit your job today. Don't go around saying Dr. Kiki told me to quit my job. No, I didn't. Don't put that on me. Don't quit your job today. You can gather clarity before you gather the courage to quit your job. Decisions made from clarity create confidence. You do not have to blow up your life at this moment. You get to design it. And I'm here so that we can design it together. All right now. So if this video resonated with you, please share this video with somebody. Please like it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Do all the things, honey, because I am bringing you the fire, because I want us to all be able to create our own happiness and have happiness in our careers and our lives and at work. All right now, until next time, peace.